Boom, approved. All right, yes, here we go, everyone. So have you been patched yet? So here we have the X39 patch, which is what we're going to talk about today. So here we have the creator of the patch, David Schmidt. He's the CEO and the inventor of the X39. He has over 130 patents. He's the scientist and the inventor of the X39, and he specializes in age reversing, not anti-aging, but age reversing. And in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research. And this recent patent for the X39 stem cell reactivation patch took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. So this man, I don't know if you guys saw over 130 patents. That stood out to me when I first took a look at this because I know how hard it is to get a patent, how the extensive process it takes to get a patent. So for someone to go and get over 130, that takes a lot of work. And not just that, in order to get a patent, you have to prove that your product does what you claim it does. So for him to have over 130 patents speaks on the genius that he is. So here we have patented technology, like I just mentioned. So this is a little snippet of the actual patent. It says, embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants. So part of this patent, it shows exactly what's going to be happening when you put the patch on, including activating your stem cells, improving your energy, elevating those antioxidants, some of which we're going to talk about today. So why the X39 stem cell activation patch? Well, the fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. Hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging. All of us are, regardless if we're 15 years old, 45 years old, 85 years old, 105 years old. We're all experiencing those symptoms of aging. And at age 30, only half your stem cells are active. And at age 60, you lose almost all stem cell activity. Now, when I took a look at this product, I was 25 years old. And I had never heard in my entire life that at 30 years old, only half of your stem cells are active. Now, sure, a lot of us can say that 30 comes like that. It can come super quickly. So to only have half of your stem cell function, that was brand new information to me. But it made sense, especially when I saw at age 60, you lose almost all of your stem cell activity because around that age, that's when you start to see maybe more conditions start to pop up, diseases, or it's harder to recover from a fall. It's much harder to recover from a fall at 60 years old than if you're 12 years old. Typically, those kids just pop right back up. And we've always just thought, oh, maybe that's just because they're younger. But why? And the answer is right here because the older you get, the less active your stem cells are. So that was very, very profound information when I first read this. So how does the X39 work? Well, it's a proprietary form of phototherapy. Phototherapy meaning light therapy. And so that's similar to like when you go outside and you're in the sun. Let's say it's the summertime in Georgia, which is where I'm based in the Atlanta area, and that sun is beaming down on you. And so when you go outside in the sun, your vitamin D levels naturally elevate. But why is that? It's not that the sun is putting something into your body. It's because all of our bodies give off light. And then when those light beams from the sun hit our body, that reflection, when our light reflects, that's what sends a signal to elevate those vitamin D levels. Same way with the patch. Once you put the patch on, it sends a signal, it works with your body's light to send a signal to elevate those copper peptide levels, which in turn activates your stem cells. And so it's patented nanocrystal technology, nano meaning very, very small. It reflects light to activate, as I mentioned. It's non-transdermal, meaning nothing goes directly into your bloodstream. It's using your body's light. So for people who may be taking any sort of medication and they might be concerned, will this interfere with my medication? No, it will not because this is non-transdermal, nothing going into your bloodstream. There are no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants. That was big for me, especially being an athlete, having to make sure there's no steroids, there's nothing in there that's actually going into my bloodstream. So that really stood out for me. And it's non-invasive. Now, these patches are compared to stem cell injections. Now, stem cell injections, those are definitely invasive and there's risk involved. whenever you're doing an invasive procedure. And so, but with this is just simply a patch that you place on your body like a sticker, and then from there, it reactivates your body's own stem cells. And at the bottom, LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. What it does is it helps your body go into reboot mode so it can heal itself. Now we have the benefits of the X39. Increased strength, reduced inflammation, increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity. A lot of people will say, oh, I'm no longer experiencing brain fog, or people who might experience depression or anxiety or Alzheimer's, dementia. Mental clarity is huge. Any and everyone can possibly experience that one or will experience it. Then you have restored muscle or skeletal conditions. I'm going to share my testimony a little bit later, kind of speaking to that one. Improvement of sleep. That's one that I oftentimes hear very, very often when people first start wearing the patch. They'll say, oh, I'm dreaming for the first time in 30 years, or I actually slept through the night. Improved skin appearance, reduction in fine lines and wrinkles. And going back to that improvement of sleep, my mom actually experienced that. I'm going to share her testimony a little bit later. Increased strength, reduced inflammation. Reduced inflammation is very key here because inflammation is wherever you can find any sort of condition going on in the body or an injury, you can probably find a lot of information in that area. So reducing that inflammation is absolutely incredible. Now we have a topography map. You might want to say, okay, this all sounds amazing, but what are some results from people who've worn the patch? So here we are. This slide is for you. So we have a topography map from a 77-year-old woman, and she placed the X39 on the back of her neck, which is actually where I have mine right now. And so in session one, this is before she started wearing the X39. You can see the red is the inflammation in her brain. And so there's lots of red, lots of inflammation, and she was experiencing a lack of brain coherence. Now for session two, this is after 3 weeks of wearing the X39. As you can see, there's no more red, no more inflammation, and she's had an improvement in brain coherence. Session three, this is after only 6 weeks of wearing the X39. She's had a complete turnaround, and she's having much better brain coherence. It can be noted that when she came in, her brain was hyperactive, as you see with all of the red in that first session. Her brain calmed down dramatically at the end of after the end of the second visit, and after wearing the X39 patch for 3 weeks. But then her brain remained calm after wearing the patch for 6 weeks. So we see what happened in her brain right here, but we can imagine that her brain probably wasn't the only area in her body that had inflammation. So we might say, okay, so what is this going to do for my entire body as I continue to wear it? So here we have it. So here we have some of the long-term results of wearing the X39. And these are per case studies on thisisit.info.com. So after the first few days, 4,000 of your genes begin to reset to a healthier, younger state. That's so significant because typically when let's say we went into the doctor and we'll say, why did I get diagnosed with this? Why that? Oftentimes they'll say, it's in your genes, possibly a gene went wrong. So this really stood out to me. And also not only that, but some people may have heard that if you drink red wine, it'll reset 2 of your genes because of what they have. It's called resveratrol in the wine. Now that was, I remember growing up, that was a big thing. People would talk about, oh, I'm going to drink red wine so I can reset some genes. But they were only talking about 2 genes. Here, after wearing the X39 for only a few days, 4,000 of your genes begin to reset. That is amazing. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. So that's when people who might be experiencing anxiety or depression or Alzheimer's or brain fog, focus, ADHD, that's when they might start realizing that, well, their brain is now balanced at this point. So they might experience being more focused. They'll be able to really just focus, lock in a lot better, maybe in class. And so that part is stood out to me because a lot of people in my generation experience anxiety and depression at higher rates than ever before. So within only 6 weeks, you can have this turnaround. That's incredible. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. Now, when people hear collagen, we think of hair, skin, and nails, right? Oh, we're going to make our skin look better. Collagen is great. It's probably the number one supplement sold on Amazon because everyone knows and is learning about how important collagen is. But not only is it important when it comes to your hair, your skin, and your nails, but collagen makes up your entire body. Collagen is like the glue that holds all of your organs in place. And so that's very important when it comes to your bones, all of that. So within 3 months, your collagen is increased. That's very significant. And I can speak on that when I share my testimony a little bit later. And within 6 months, this is the big one, your heart reverses in age. 6 months, only 6 months into wearing the patch, your heart reverses in age. When they did the study with 14 out of 15 people, it showed that it reversed their heart and age by an average of 8 years. So I don't know if everyone heard that, but within 6 months, your heart reverses in age by an average of 8 years. That is huge because if you live in America, which I think all of us do on this call, we know that heart disease is the number one killer for Americans. And so typically when your heart is going through some things, let's say it's congestive heart failure, any other sort of heart issue, typically it doesn't improve. And so with this, that's absolutely amazing. And we have so many people, even on this call right now, that have actually experienced their heart reversing in age. So here we have a quote at the bottom from David Schmidt, the CEO and the inventor of the X39 himself, saying, "It's not anti-aging, it's age reversing." So all of these things, when people say, "Oh, I'm not sure something is happening. I've been wearing the patch for a few days. I've been wearing it for a few weeks, but I don't notice anything happening." Don't worry about it. The patch is working. You might not notice something right away, but as soon as you put the patch on, these things on the screen right here is all part of the patent. So David Schmidt had to prove that these things happen. And when you put the X39 patch on, it's going to happen. So you might not feel your genes resetting, but they're resetting. Might not feel that brain balancing. You might, but it's going to be happening. Your collagen is increasing and your heart is reverting back to a younger you. So here we have how to wear the X39. So you wear your patch for 12 hours on and 12 hours off to repair and rejuvenate. So what I like to do is I will put it on first thing in the morning. Let's say I wake up at 7 a.m. I'll put my patch on at 7 a.m. I have a timer in my phone, an alarm to help keep me on track. So at 7 p.m., my alarm will go off and it will say, take patches off. I'll take the patches off like it says on the screen, throw it away. And then the next day at 7 a.m., I'll put a new patch on and repeat that process. You might ask, can you wear more than one patch at one time? You definitely can. One is typically sufficient. You don't need to wear any more than one, but if you want to, you can wear more than one. Two would be fine. And you also want to make sure that you drink plenty of water. So you might ask, why do you want to drink water? Well, our bodies need water. Most of us are dehydrated, whether we know it or not. And so, and a good rule of thumb when it comes to drinking water is that you want to drink, it's a good general rule of thumb. You want to drink half your body weight in ounces. So let's say you weigh 200 pounds. A good rule of thumb is to drink at least 100 ounces of water a day. If you weigh 250, drink at least 125 ounces of water a day, and that will help keep you hydrated. So I learned that in college. I thought 8 glasses of water was sufficient, which most people think, but I learned depending on your weight is how much water you want to drink. And you might experience a possible healing reaction while you're wearing the patch. And so let's say the patch is detoxifying you. You want to be able to push those toxins out of your body through using the restroom. So being hydrated helps you to do so. Now we have the X39 is so sophisticated yet simple to explain. The testimonies of the X39 are life-changing and emotional. The best thing about the X39 is it absolutely works. So I'm going to go ahead on and share my testimony. My name is Lauren Stewart, and I'm based out of the Atlanta, Georgia area. And I was introduced to this incredible technology a little over 2 years ago. So I played college softball majority of my time at the University of South Carolina, where you can see on the screen. And I had a fantastic time. I loved it. And so while I was playing there, I got my bachelor's degree in public relations, and I got my master's degree a couple of years later in mass communication. But while I was playing ball at South Carolina, I had hip surgery in 2018 to repair a torn labrum in my hip due to lots of different bone impingements. So it was actually a condition called femur acetabular impingement, FAI. And it's very, very tough surgery to come back from and to have. And so leading up to that surgery and after, I had lots of different things to try to calm that pain because I noticed anytime I would lift my knee, lift my leg in a certain direction, it would hurt. So sliding and running and jogging, all of that used to bother me significantly. So leading up to my surgery in March 2018, I had lots of different things to try to calm that pain down, such as PRP injections, steroid injections, and different hard medications like oxycodone. Now, I don't like to take any sort of medication, not even Tylenol. So it took a lot for me to have to take that oxycodone. And actually, when they prescribed it to me, I had to take at least one pill before I left the hospital, after having surgery. And I was throwing up for 2 weeks straight. And I couldn't walk because, of course, I'm on crutches. And so I had to carry around a bucket in the house just in case I just started throwing up and wouldn't be able to make it to the restroom. So that was a very, very long, tough process. And that was after only one pill of the oxycodone. So I noticed what helped me the most between the PRP injections, steroid injections, and oxycodone were the PRP injections. Now, PRP injections are very similar to stem cell injections, whereas they only help the area in which you get that injection. So it's very localized and they're very expensive. They can go for 5, 10, $25,000 per injection. And they don't always work. And if one works, it doesn't always work as good well the next time. So, but I had to get those PRP injections every 5 to 6 months. Like I said, they're very expensive. So, fast forward, my dad was introduced to this incredible patch in the summer of 2022. His friend Ken Robinson called him up. He said, "Hey, Reg, you know anybody in pain?" He said, "Yeah, me. I'm thinking about having knee surgery." So he said, "Okay, I'm going to send you some patches, put them on." He gave him the directions, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Now, my dad was thinking about having knee surgery, knee replacement surgery to help with that knee pain. And then within a week of wearing those patches, all of my dad's knee pain was gone. And so I saw him go from limping around in bed. He had to move his knee every time he moved around, whether he was sitting down, laying in bed, all of that. So I saw my dad go from a lot of pain, really struggling when he was walking, to within a week, all of that pain was gone. So he said, "Hey, Lauren, put this on your hip, put this on your shoulder. Let me know what happens." And so I was like, "Okay, I saw what it just did for you, which is absolutely incredible." But I'm also thinking in the back of my mind, man, I've done 5, 6 years at University of South Carolina and Purdue, which is where I attended my freshman year, in the Big Ten and the SEC with all this high-tech technology. I'm at the football stadium where the football athletes are playing with all of these incredible technologies. I mean, $100,000 technology. So I'm like, what in the world is this little patch going to do for me? So I was excited. I was a little skeptical, but I saw what it did for my dad. I was like, you know what? I'm excited. So I put the patch on. The first day I noticed that I put it on my shoulder right here. And because what I didn't mention was 14 months after having that hip surgery, I had shoulder surgery to repair a torn labrum in my shoulder. So that first day of having the patches, I put it on my shoulder. And I noticed my shoulder was no longer popping and clicking when I was doing arm circles. I have my own softball training business, so I was working out with one of my clients. When I was doing arm circles, my shoulder was no longer popping and clicking. I noticed that's weird. Okay, this is very interesting. So I continued to wear the patch because my dad said the longer you wear the patch, the more benefits you will have, the more things you'll experience. So I kept wearing it. A week into wearing the patch, I noticed a natural increase in energy. Now, that was significant for me because I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism my sophomore year of college, and I was always exhausted. I was planning my days around a nap. I was said, "Can I get a 15-minute nap in before film? Can I get a 30-minute nap in after practice?" That's how my entire college career went. I was exhausted. So a week into wearing the patch, I noticed I have very natural energy. This isn't caffeine, like it's not jittery. This is amazing. So I kept wearing it. That energy sustained. At the 3-month mark is when I noticed a significant decrease in hip pain. I was no longer waking up in the morning with the left side of my body sore where I had the hip surgery and the shoulder surgery. I was no longer being able to tell when it was going to rain outside because my joints were no longer telling me. And for those who have joint issues, you can relate. And so at that 3 month mark, I noticed my body is completely turning around. And I was wondering why at the 3 month mark. Well, I learned that David Schmidt said for every decade you've been alive, you want to wear the patch for a month. So at that point, I was 25. And so that made sense. About the 3 month mark is when I noticed a lot of improvements when it came to, my hips. And so I continue to wear the patch, and I'm now been wearing the patch for over 2 years, and I have seen just incredible benefits. I'm back to doing pull-ups and chin-ups in the gym. I could not do anything overhead for a long period of time following my surgery. And I am back to doing squats in the gym, like at a 90-degree angle with lots of weight on the bar, which was something that used to irritate me so much before. So I've had a complete turnaround, and it has just blessed me, and not just me, but my former teammates. And so I've patched some of the people you see in these uniforms, and they've had their own experiences as well. And I've just had such a joy just sharing this with the people that I know and love. So here we have the website, thisisitinfo.com. If you have your phone, if you have a notebook, have your notes out, definitely write down this website. It's thisisitinfo.com. You can find all of the product information here on this website, and you can find testimonials. If you're somebody like me who wants to do a deep dive, I stayed up all night. I'm that kind of person who's like, oh my gosh, let me go and research this as much as I can. And so that's what I did. And I was so intrigued when I was going and combing through this website right here, because you can find the patents, the studies, the testimonials, videos from David Schmidt himself, videos from doctors who are on our team that have patched their patients and explaining why. This is an incredible resource right here. Thisisitinfo.com. Here we have LifeWave, the company. So you might be wondering, okay, let's tell me about the company. All right, so here we have, it's a 20-year-old company. It's open in over 75 countries. So we're global, we're worldwide, now over 80 countries. It's not a Me Too product like most companies, like their weight loss, skincare, and supplements. And most of those companies, those products are great, but there's a lot of competition. And so when I found out this is patented, there's no competition, that really stuck out to me from a business side, because when I looked at this slide right here, I really put my business hat on. And so in these numbers right here, this really caught my eye. In 2021, the company did $20 million. In 2022, the company did $320 million. In 2023, the company did $430 million. 2024, over $600 million. And this year in 2025, the company is expected to break over $1 billion. And you might be wondering why, how do you get that growth from $20 million to $320 million? What changed? Well, I can tell you what changed. It was our team, one, and the X39 products. So this patch came out, but then also we have our team leadership, that This Is It team was born only a couple of years ago, and we're actually the #1 team in the company, which I'm going to talk about further. So like I said, we have LifeWave as a company is ranked #1 in momentum per businessforhome.org. Now, businessforhome.org is a website that has thousands of home-based direct sales businesses. And LifeWave, a 20-year-old company, is currently ranked #1 in momentum. And we just got word that we're going to be ranked #1 in momentum this coming year as well. And so this is very significant, because typically #1 momentum companies are brand new companies. They're companies that are brand new, and there's a lot of excitement around those companies. And that's how they get that #1 momentum rank. But we're a 20-year-old company. So that just speaks on how powerful and significant this product is, because a lot of people said that this could never be done. You can't reactivate your body's own stem cells, and certainly not by wearing a patch. But David Schmidt, with the over 130 patents, he said, I'm glad you said that. Let me go and put some work in. And he made it happen. And that's what's taken this entire world by storm. So here we have LifeWave Award #1 growth company. And so we have David Schmidt right here on the left side next to Miss Gina Merritt, right next to Miss Meredith Burkich, who's the president of LifeWave. And at the end, that's Mr. Steve Merritt. So Steve and Gina Merritt, we're talking about This Is It team, right? The #1 team in the world. In the world, you're on the #1 team in the world. And so Steve and Gina Merritt are our team leaders. And so they're the ones that sat down with Mr. David Schmidt and said, okay, let's game plan and figure out a way to help push this to the masses. And that game plan led to us all being on this call today. And not just that, but the entire company being the #1 growth company, and our team, This Is It team, being the #1 producing team in the world. So what is most important in your life? Is it family? Is it time, freedom, security, travel, better health, less debt? I mean, I can see a few of those on the list that definitely are important to me. But the great thing about this is that this is a product that gives you the opportunity to not just improve your health, but also they're allowing us to be compensated by something we're naturally going to do anyway, and that's share it with other people. Because when something is good, we want to share it with everyone, whether it's our favorite movie, whether it's a favorite restaurant, whether it's a new product that we're using. And so the cool thing about all of this is that not only can we just turn around our health and get healthier as we age, a concept that I'd never even thought of, but we have a possibility and we have an opportunity to be able to earn additional income and help to achieve our dreams financially as well. So you might be asking, how can we do this, right? So also, in the midst of that, join us in Punta Mita. The company also allows you a chance to earn free trips as a reward for sharing it with other people. And so you can qualify for that. We actually have until February 23rd to go and join many of your team members in Punta Mita, Mexico, which is a very luxurious place in Mexico, and have a great time and celebrate all of your hard work and interact and with your fellow team members. So you can actually access this form. You can take a screenshot or use the QR code right there on the screen. And you can access this on thisisitteam.com, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. And here's a sheet to be able to track your points as you continue. So all of this can be found on thisisitteam.com. So the compensation plan, you might be asking, okay, so what happens when I share it with other people? So getting started is as easy as knowing 4 people to go manager. So when you go manager, first, when you get signed up, you'll have a left team and a right team. So this is the binary. And you have the opportunity to earn up to $25,000 each week from the binary. Now you might be asking, okay, that sounds good, but are people actually doing that? Yes. And not just some people, a lot of people. And so, of course, at the bottom of the screen, we have a disclaimer. LifeWave makes no promises or guarantees regarding income. The success or failure of each LifeWave brand partner, like any other business, depends on your skills and personal effort. You should not rely on the results of other LifeWave brand partners as an indicator of what you will earn. So let's say you get started. You will have a left team and a right team. That's your binary. Binary meaning 2. And so when you have enrolled 4 people, you'll have 2 people on your left, 2 people on your right, and right then and there, your manager. So those 4 people can be anyone. They can be siblings. They can be your parents. You might have been, as I was sharing my testimony, you might have thought about maybe some athletes that you know, maybe some nieces and nephews, or when I was bringing up maybe the different conditions, people might have different conditions, but also people might be interested in earning additional revenue as well. And so that opportunity is on the table for sure. So you have 2 people on your left, 2 people on your right. That qualifies you as manager. And then not just that, you'll be in the binary. And the faster you get started, the better, because everyone that enrolls will fall in the binary. So even if you don't personally know the people, there's a possibility if they fall on your leg that they will be under you. So that's one way of getting paid. Now, another way of getting paid, there are 4 ways. We're going to go over a couple today for sake of time, but we have the matching bonus. So the matching bonus, now this is for if you have your business tag on, you're like, okay, I know so many people I want to share this with. then this page right here is probably sticking out to you. Unlimited income potential. So when you sign up somebody, they'll be on your first level. Let's call that your first level. You will earn a 25% bonus check of whatever they earn. Now, let's say that they go ahead and they sign up somebody. Now, those people will now be on your second level. You will earn a 20% bonus check on whatever they earn. So you won't be that person. They won't be giving you 25% of their check. No, they'll have their 100%. They'll have 100% of their check. You will just earn a bonus check of 25% if they're on your first level. And if they're on your second level, you'll earn a 20% bonus check of whatever they're earning. And then on the third level, let's say they go ahead and they enroll somebody, which people are naturally going to do, is that you will earn another 20% bonus check from that level as well. So, and this goes for each person. You can have 10 people on your first level, 10 people on your second, 10 on your third, 100 on your first, 100, whatever the numbers you want. All of that is available and the opportunity is there for you. So unlimited income potential. Now you might be asking, okay, so how can I get started? So this is actually the sign-up sheet, the order form. And right here we have the different packages. So when you come in, you'll come in as a brand partner, and there are 3 different options that you can choose. So we have the core package for $295, which entails 3 sleeves of the X39. Then we have the advanced package for $535, which is 6 sleeves of the X39. And now we have the premium, which is our most popular package. And that's 20 sleeves of the X39 for $1,750, $1,750. And so all of these places are great to get started at. And not just that, you can upgrade. So let's say today, I want to come in at the premium, but right now I'm trying to get my finances in place right now. So more feasible right now for me would be advanced. You can come in at the advanced and you can always upgrade anytime you need to whatever package. So, and all you would do is pay the difference. So let's say you went from core to advanced. All right, so come in at the core for $295. Then let's say later on down the road, you want to upgrade to the advanced because you want more patches. All you would do is pay that difference. Is that $240 difference, and you will get the 3 additional sleeves. Let's say you want to upgrade. So it doesn't matter where you get started, it matters that you get started. So you can get your place in the binary, but also so you can go ahead on and start wearing the patch and experiencing those incredible health benefits and have the opportunity to share it with your loved ones as well. And so the core is great. I like to how Dr. Tony Smith, one of the doctors on our team, says it. He says, I look at this as good, great, and better, or good, great, and best. So core $295, 3 sleeves, advanced $535 for 6 sleeves, premium $1,750 for 20 sleeves. And as you notice, you get a higher discount the higher the package. You save $250 with the premium, you save quite a bit with the advanced, and you get a product introductory bonus for each. So let's say you sign somebody up at the core, which is another way, one of our other ways of getting paid. Let's say you sign somebody up at the core, you'll get a $35 product introductory bonus. Advanced, you'll get a $75 product introductory bonus, and premium, you'll get a $405 product introductory bonus. And you'll get 2 months subscription included in your premium pack as well. Now, this is a very key part. You want to make sure that you're on a monthly subscription. Why? Because we want to wear these patches each month. Now, the only way that you could achieve the 30-day, you wear it for 30 days and expect a lot of results is if you're 10 years old. And I say that because why? David Schmidt said you want to wear the patch for however many decades you've been alive in number of months. So if you're 10 years old, you might, wear for a month and see. But if let's say you're 50 years old, you want to give it 5 months. If you're 60, you want to give it 6. If you're 30, you want to give it at least 3. I plan on wearing it for the rest of my life. We hear testimonies all the time. I'm still having testimonies 2 years in. And so I'm like, if I would have stopped at the 3-month mark, I would not be back doing pull-ups and chin-ups in the gym. So we have the importance of being on the monthly subscription. You can be on a 1-sleeve subscription or a 2-sleeve, but the 1-sleeve allows you to stay active. You keep your points, and you can earn up to $100 per week. But if you're looking at this thing like, okay, I really want to take advantage and maximize my opportunities when it comes to the health side and the business side, definitely want to be on at least the 2 sleeve subscription. That's what I'm on. And that's $199 per month. So each sleeve is $99 each month. That's also another benefit of coming in at one of the packages. You get it for $99 a month as opposed to retail at $149.50. So you get a chance to pay 1 sleeve subscription, $99 per month, keep your points, earn up to $100 per week. And then you have the 2 sleeve subscription that's suggested because that also allows you to maximize the compensation plan. And that's enough product for 2 people. So you want to be able to have a sleeve for yourself. Let's say you're married, you have a spouse or someone else you live with in the household. That will be another sleeve for them. And you can always add sleeves as you would like as well. So those are our different packages. And so these are the resources. So we have, like I said, this is the #1 producing team in the entire world. So there's a system in place. You don't have to wonder and get in and be like, okay, so what do I do now? Everything is here for you. So we have, like I mentioned before, thisisit.info.com, which is where you can find everything product related, from testimonials to the patents and studies to the science. All of that you can find there. Everything product related you can find on thisisit.info.com. Now, thisisit.team.com, that's our team resource when it comes to everything from the business side. Like if you want to know, how do I go manager? How do I sign somebody up? Can I take a deeper dive at the compensation plan? I did a very short, brief overview of the compensation plan, but if you're somebody that really likes to dig in the numbers, that website is for you. Just click on LifeWave Compensation Plan, and it will take you directly there. So these are 2 very key websites. You definitely want to jot those down if you have a notebook in front of you. Now, the time is now to make your move. Are you serious about your dream? This is hope for your future. Get started with the X39. So I've shared a lot with you all today. I'm going to bring in, actually, I think my dad. Now, today is his birthday, so he